Hey everyone, so I am here to give an update on my Model 3 performance, the leaking seals, okay? I'll put a link to the first video up here. I got underneath the car and show where it looked like it was leaking from. Both seals had grease, oil residue, the bottom of the top side of the pan that you can't see. You got to drop the pan down and look, and there's like grease blobs that looks kind of like, but it honestly kind of looks like Vaseline. There's a little bit of oil up on the seals, and coming down, you could see where the oil was because it's more dirty. I'm sure my hand movements explain everything here. So that was about a month ago, which equates to about 1,500 miles for me or so. I think when I first looked under the car, I had maybe 1,000 or so miles. And the only reason I looked under my car and pulled the pan down was because a lot of people were talking about leaking seals. Actually, not a lot of people, but a number of people were talking about leaking seals, and, you know, maybe wonder, climbed underneath there, checked it out, and I was like, wow, I've got something leaked here. And on my previous Model 3 2018, there was none of that. I had that pan down before, front pan, rear pan, and nothing. I didn't see any signs of anything leaking at any time. So what was the deal with this? And some people said things like this was install lube. I mean, sure, you know, I'm not a tech, I don't know. All I know is from my previous model, I didn't have that. So maybe they were installing them different. I don't know. So it's been about 1,500 miles or so, and I have yet to put anything in the app and to contact Tesla with any of the issues that I've had with my car. Most of them are just pretty cosmetic for the most part. Nothing that I can't live with for a little while. And honestly, I'm always doing product reviews, and there's so many times my car has got something apart on it. I've had seats out for a while. It's not something I wanted to bring my car into Tesla or have them come over to my house and see. So I never did it. And the seals, they didn't look like it was leaking bad. So it's not like if I had a ton of oil, if I had oil that came over the pan and was on my garage floor, yeah, I wouldn't be driving the car. I would definitely be contacting Tesla immediately. But because I didn't, and even the oil, and I'll show you all of this, that didn't cause me to think, man, I better contact Tesla right now because, you know, I'm scared to drive the car. I've got some new wheels and tires. Please stay tuned for that. I've got some really efficient tires, really lightweight wheels. I was doing a couple of things with this, but please stay tuned for that video. It's coming very soon. But I've got a really low cost what I'm going to be using for I'm staring down at my wheel and tire here right now. I've got a really low cost solution for winter. First off, that's the first thing I need. I'm not going to be buying 20-inch snow tires for these wheels. It's just not worth it. Honestly, I might not even keep the factory wheels. If you're interested in buying some factory Tesla Performance 3 wheels, leave a message. We'll get in touch. But I think I'm going to be selling these. I don't even think I've got 1,000 miles on them. But had my car in, new wheels and tires, and having an alignment done. So while the car was in the air, they have to drop the rear pan to do the alignment in the rear. So I was like, oh, fantastic. I'm going to see what the update is. I shot some quick video, and guess what? I'm not seeing any difference. It looked exactly the same. The pan looked exactly the same as far as the grease and the amount of oil, grease, whatever was on the pan before, looked exactly the same. Tried getting the camera up there quickly on the seals, and it actually maybe looked a little bit cleaner. You know, who knows? Maybe some water. I don't know. Whatever. I didn't see any fresh oil anywhere. It's clearly not leaking any more than it already has. So what's the deal? Again, people were talking about install grease potentially on there, and I think they're right. Whatever it is, probably a one-time thing. I will be checking it again, but I've got, I think 2,600 miles on it so far, so not that many. If this was a leak that leaked as much as it did before and it was continuing, it would be bad. It would be worse. It's not. It's not worse at all. It doesn't look, it looks, honest, like I said, it almost looks a little bit better when I actually look up at the seal. So yeah, anyway, I think good news. It's not that nobody has leaks on these seals, because the reason I started looking at this was because There were people who had legitimate leaks. They had oil spilling over the pan. They saw it on the garage floor. If you have that, contact Tesla immediately. You don't want to burn out a drive unit. This may have been a comment I read on my last video, but I believe somebody had a leaking drive unit from the seals. Tesla replaced the seals. I'm assuming they put more drive fluid in there. I don't know. But then they said that their actual drive unit burnt out, and they ended up replacing that then later. So big surprise. You run a machine low on oil, too low on oil, it burns out, okay? So don't think that just because I might not have an issue, probably most people are not having an issue. Don't think that because you're seeing some oil somewhere that you don't have an issue, because you could have an issue. And also, if you're not sure what fluids are, what they look like, learn, okay? You see something on your garage floor, most likely it's water, especially if your car's, obviously if it's been in the rain and you bring it in, you're going to see water. But a lot of times, especially in the summer, you're running your AC or your defroster. If you turn your defroster on inside the car, I don't care what the temperature is, it turns your AC on to help dry out your window. AC collects the condensation and, drips it out of the bottom of the car. So you're always going to see that around, the front area of your car. That's water, but touch it, feel it, look at it. It's water, water. Smell it. I wouldn't advise tasting it, but smell it. Learn what fluids smell and look and feel like, because this is going to help you in the long term, especially if you're young. It's going to help your entire life. Antifreeze has a certain smell. Oil has a certain smell. Transmission fluid has a certain smell and look. It's reddish. Like, all of these fluids feel and smell differently. Learn them. At a bare minimum, you know what to say to somebody. You know how to talk to a mechanic and say, here's the fluid I think. It's reddish. It's a liquid. It's yellow. It's green. It's whatever. Smells like this. So yeah, stay tuned. Got some updates. You can check out my last video to see all the oil and everything that I had and that I saw, to see if yours is the same or you might have this issue. And I'm excited about these wheels and tires. The last road trip I took, they were definitely more efficient. No doubt about it. Do they perform as well? No, they don't. In terms of performance, acceleration, quartering, no, they don't perform as well, but they are definitely more efficient. The tires, I'm probably going to be getting a different set of tires. I'm happy with the efficiency of the tires, but in the wet, not happy with them. So anyway, you'll hear all about that. And so wheel and tire advice coming soon. Please like and subscribe. Thanks.